Alright, now 6:33. I sat here and waited 2 minutes just for that. But thank you for the 2 threes, Danny D. My pleasure, Chad. Oh, my door wasn't closed. Well, I wasn't paying attention, and last Tuesday, was actually the 1-year anniversary of DJ Dashcam. So I'm like 4 or 5 days, no, 6 days actually, but 4 or 5 dash cams because I only do 5 a week. I'm a little late, okay? Happy anniversary to me. $260 is about to commence in commemoration of the 1 year and 1 week anniversary. Today, well, last week we listened to Tim Ryan on the Mad Music Show playing long songs. Damn it, I screwed it up. Yes, and you guessed it. Today, it's short songs. But of course you've guessed it, it's right there in the title. This is with Dr. Domino. Not Captain Wayne, not Tim Ryan, or any of their friends. This is the real deal, Dr. Domino. As soon as I get squared around here, I'll tell you when it was from. I know it was October, but I didn't quite look at the full date. October 9th, 1988. So this was from KLSX in Los Angeles. So this is a live show, not a syndicated show. And I'm going to wait until I get up on the freeway to get started. Yeah, it's going to be all short songs. How short? Oh, some are real short. Others are kind of short. But they all fall under the category of short. Unlike the drive I have ahead of me. Oh, thanks for the exhaust in my face, dude. Did you see that? Did you see that guy blow exhaust in our face? Now watch all these people racing around me. Everybody's in a hurry to get to the damn freeway. Guess what? I'm not. Look at all these morons on a Monday morning. Couldn't get off the toilet soon enough to get out to get on the freeway on time, so now they're going to race around here trying to be the first one on. That's why I prefer this to be the end of my day and not the beginning. I probably have a lot less stress in my life than 99% of these people that we're driving with. Of course, they give me stress. It's not the stress of having to get to work on time. It's the stress of having to avoid getting killed by some of these idiots that are trying to get to work on time. And suddenly it's my problem that they're late. Okay, here we go. This ought to be fun on a Monday morning. Yeah, I was looking last night to see, I thought it was in March, was the beginning of DJ Dashcam, the channel. And then I saw that it was February 25th, the first Dashcam video I uploaded. That was actually a nighttime video. Oh great, now I gotta try and get behind the damn bus. Oh, this would make a nice thumbnail for the video. I hope it's chosen by YouTube as the thumbnail. Big ass OCTA bus in front of me. I used to ride those buses all the time. Wish I could again. Hope to someday. I used to use the bike rack and the bus on the bike. The bike, the bus, and the bike rack on the bus. There. I'd love to go back to doing that. Hell yeah. Even if there were times, you know, when you couldn't get your bike on the bus because there was already 2 bikes on the front, and you end up having to ride to your destination. I'd still prefer that over this. Of course, we wouldn't have DJ Dashcam then, would we? Yeah. It's another thing I wouldn't care about. DJ Bike Cam. How about that? Rained a little last night. Still lots of clouds in the sky. I'm hoping they'll keep the sun out of our eyes. We might even run into a few scattered showers that are lingering in the area when we get closer to the mountains. And I'm hoping there's some nice puffy clouds still floating around when I get home so I can do another famous time-lapse cloud video. Rainy season is coming to an end, so I won't be able to do many more cloud videos. I was getting kind of into those. Finding the music that's appropriate for the speed the clouds are moving and such. Wow, there's lots of snow on those mountains out there. I don't know if you can see them, but I can see them. Alright, now I gotta concentrate. Might see some snowy mountains before this is over. You might. I can. From a distance, it's harder to see because it kind of blends in with all those clouds out there. But right out there, to the left of the Amtrak station, that big round thing, there's a mountain out in the distance. It's covered in snow. So last week we had the long of it. Now here's the short of it with Dr. DeVito.
Lighten up your radio. It's time for the Dr. DeVito Show coming to you live. You can do better than that. On 97.1 KLSX Los Angeles by special arrangement with the Westwood One Radio Network. 2 hours of bad music and comedy from out of the archives and off the wall. Rare records and outrageous tapes from yesterday, today, and tomorrow. This week we'll have almost twice as many demented discs and tapes as usual. What? Well, no, the show will not be any longer, but I do have for you today the world's shortest demented discs and tapes. Weird songs and wild comedy bits, mostly under a minute long, featuring Monty Python, Weird Al Yankovic, Shaw Silverstein, Mel Brooks, Robin Williams, and many more, along with our regular funny 5 of the mini 5 of the most requested. As opposed to a Mickey 5. For that part of the show, musical Mike. That part of the show will get started in about 45 minutes. Meanwhile, we got a stack of your requests to play. And musical Mike, Cheryl, and whimsical Will are answering the KLSX Classic Lines for me. Call in with your request. The classic lines are in the 714 area, 541-9797, and in the 213 and 818 areas, 520-9797. But we be getting demented with a little smack, which is respectfully, but not too respectfully, dedicated to Senator Jesse Helms on 97.1 KLSX.
In your town, though you may not know it's there, it never makes a sound, it just creeps up your underwear. You can find it in your restaurants, underneath the tablecloth. You can find it in your old haunts, in a can of chicken broth. Sometimes it shows in daylight for everyone to see. We gotta join the fight against SLUT. SLUT, it's seeping in your mind. SLUT, so easy to find. SLUT, it's wicked and it's foul. SLUT, never enough to make you high. Daddy was a baker, his buns he liked to show. My mama was a Cosmo girl, she sold till daddy's dough. My girlfriend is a call girl, she makes my carrot grow. She does it like a tractor, that's why they call her hoe. McDonald's have a hunk of meat they call a quarter pound. Well, honey, I got the same damn thing, my nose is stuck around. SLUT, it's seeping in your mind. SLUT, so easy to find. SLUT, it's wicked and it's foul. SLUT, it's enough to be
there came a young lady who looked like a decent young lady. She laid in the grass, and when she turned over, you could see her there. She had ruffles and tuffles, she looked like a duck. She said she was learning a new way to bring up her children and teach them to knit. The boy in the bathroom was taking a vacuum cleaner to clean up the holes. He tripped on the bath mat and cut off his I was watching a young lady while striking a match. It fell on her lap and it burned up her. Honest and truly, this scene touched my heart. The whole damn affair sort of smelled like We went to the circus, we went in the park. We saw the ringmaster do tricks with his girl on the trapeze while doing her stunt. She fell on a troll's paw and ribbon. Her tights were so fancy, her ruffles were blue. The monkeys went frantic and started to
97.1 KLSX. That D-Minute disc going out to Kevin, who requested it. Thank you, Kevin. My Girl's Monkey, and that was what they called a party record in the 1930s on the Hollywood Hot Shots label, which was sold above or sometimes under the counter back in those days. My Girl's Monkey by Candy Without Cocoa. Now, Candy and Coco were a very popular act at that time, but no Coco on that record. Smut was by the other half from the Dementos Mementos album. Now, Senator Jesse Helms managed in the heat of the election frenzy to convince Congress a week or two ago that if he doesn't like to hear or see something on the airwaves, maybe nobody else should be able to see or hear it either. That one will undoubtedly wind up in the courts. Here's some nice rural humor as done by a fine band from the beach cities of LA. Here's Bajarko with the Farmer Song.
Puts on the table. For the farmer, he raised the cows. The kind of cow they used to make the wall that your dad is using now. Oh, the farmer went to town with Mr. Goat and Mr. Chicken. They brought home the guitars, making do some picking, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Memento Show. We are live at 97.1 KLSX. And that one going out to Mark, who requested it. Julie Brown with I Like Him Big and Stupid. And Bajarco, which is B''J-A-R-C-O, with a song they've released on a single on their own Mouse Blats record label, The Farmer Song. Whimsical Will coming up with a D-Minute News. Also coming up a new rap song based on one of our all-time 5 most requested D-Minute discs. And also a great comedy song dating back to the year of the great San Francisco earthquake.
Certs knows that everyone has their own way of expressing themselves. Here's Phyllis Boutique.
The new film certainly has Kafkaesque overtones. The director's interpretation is transcendental to the point of redundancy, but the use of the pig was really cute.
Whatever your style of self-expression, Certs will help you get your point across. Because however you say it, fresh breath makes a statement, and Certs is the taste everyone can agree on. Fresh breath speaks for itself.
Look at those mountains up there. Can you see them? Right in front of us. They're all white. Haven't seen that in a while. A real dry January and a real dry February. Till like the last weekend. Oh, great. Just what I need. An idiot that doesn't know where he's going. Getting behind a slow-moving truck. Things were rolling along so nicely too. Did you notice that? Till we get here. Now this is usually a nice, easy transition, but no. Wow, look at these clouds. I need to get home and get my time lapse going. I like them big and stupid. It looks like we still have a chance to see a shower or two on our way. Right now those clouds are doing the job of keeping the sun out of my eyes. Back to the music, sorry.
Far out, man. This is Whimsical Will with the do-wah-diddy-diddy-demented news.
I didn't know my life.
It's really wonderful, isn't it, Miss Owen? Too wonderful.
Crazy Medfly.
So, did you survive the Medfly spraying last week?
Yeah, I did.
What should you do if the Malafyan madness comes to your neighborhood? And if you're inside, be sure to and protect your car from the We caught up with a man who went outside during the spraying and decided to
Breathe deep. The gathering gloom.
So, how are you doing, sir? What did the pesticide smell like? I see. Medfly has just flown into the studio.
Get off that dog! Squash it!
No, Mr. Medfly, have a seat right here in my hand. Hey, you must be pretty strong to survive all this fumigation. How would you describe the Medfly massacre? Hey, thanks for flying by. It was a pleasure to hold a Medfly in my hand. Let's give him a nice round of applause. What do you say, huh? Oh, gee.
In 1492,
It's Columbus Day weekend, and Christopher's here in the studio.
Hey, Columbus, we can't turn back without an order from you. I'm not talking while the flavor lasts.
So, Mr. Columbus, what you been up to? You know, I always forget. What were the names of your 3 ships?
Lollipop.
kidding, folks. She's the world's biggest shit.
That's right. And what was the third one? You know, Chris, it was wonderful that you discovered America, but it would have been even more wonderful if you'd have missed it.
That was really uncalled for, Senator.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I was just trying to be funny and it didn't work.
Well, I'm Whimsical Will. See ya.
Thank you, Whimsical Will. I'm Dr. Demento on 97.1 KLSX. Rap music was started by people doing street poetry, while records of funky music of various kinds were played in the background. And to this day, just about every rapper has a DJ who works with him or her when making rap records, though they've generally used live musicians to play their backing tunes. But lately, they've been getting bolder about working in bits of well-known records, not just scratching a note or two, but sometimes a few seconds at a time or longer. Such things as Queen's Another One Bites the Dust, Bob Marley's I Shot the Sheriff, James Brown records have always been real big. Now we have a new rap song using a little bit of one of our all-time favorites. In fact, they use more than a little itty bit of it. This is a group called Alliance with a song that they boldly call Fish Heads.
Yo, K-Swift, man, let's go to Flanders and get something to eat. Alright, man, I'll have a steak dinner. Nah, man, it's a West Indian place. They don't serve steak dinners, man. They got, like, curry beef dinner, roly, oxtail. Yo, your favorite as well as mine. Fish heads. I eat fish heads in the morning. Excuse the smell when I start to yawn. Rakim said it was his favorite dish, and if you can't say it all, just say fish. I don't like fish and I don't eat crab. If I had a choice, it's steak I grab. But when I have a fish head, let me tell you this trend. I get Cold Stone Swift instead. Why? Fish head is the move. Let me see your body. Fish head is the move. Let me see your body. Come on, clap your hands to the beat. Come on, clap your hands to the beat. Tell me what kind of fish do you eat? Tell me what kind of fish do you eat? Is it lobster? What about tuna? Is it salmon? What about catfish? What is it? Tell me, what is it? When I do shows, I always rock it. Got my lucky fish head in my pocket. I rub it for luck. I rub it for luck. Keep your head high. Fish head stew, I heard you say. But don't hard to play, pass it down my way. I've got the fork and I'm ready to start. Excuse me if you hear me. Part the 17. King of Chill got a big old fish. Yeah, Sue's got a big old fish. DJ still got a big old fish. Lion's got a Milky Kiss got a big old fish. Lights got a big old fish. DJ Rock got a big old fish. Yeah, we got a big old fish.
Well, it's Fish Heads by Alliance. If you want to hear that again, you better tell the people here at the KLSX Classic Lines, the Dr. Demento request line, they being one and the same thing for the next hour and 35 minutes. Better tell them you want to hear Fish Heads by Alliance, or maybe the Fish Head Rap or something like that, so we know what you mean. That's just one of many examples of rap groups taking more or less familiar records and making them into new rap songs. Is it fun? Or is it plagiarism? Copyright infringement? The courts will be deciding that one. I want to thank Bob Slack of Black Radio Exclusive Magazine for sending that one along. Also Duff Marlowe. Speaking of black music, this next artist was the first important black record star. A big Broadway star, too. Back in the days when black performers had to wear blackface makeup with the white lips and all that, like old pictures of Al Jolson, if they wanted to perform on the stages on Broadway. Bert Williams was the man's name, and this song first came out in 1906. Though what I'll play you will be a remake made in 1913, which has just a tad better sound. For Frank Cullum in Santa Monica, here's Bert Williams and Nobody on the home of classic dementia, 97.1 KLSX.
When life seems full of clouds and rain, and I am full of nothing and pain, soothes my thumping brain. Nobody. When winter comes with snow and sleet, and me with hunger and cold feet, there's here 25 cents, go ahead and get something. I never done nothing to nobody. I never got nothing from nobody no time. Till I get something from somebody sometime. Never do nothing for nobody no time. When summer comes all cool and clear, and my friends see me drawing near, they'll come in, have some beer. Nobody. When I was in that railroad wreck and thought I'd cashed in my last check, took the engine off my neck. I hope so. I never done nothing to nobody. I never done nothing to nobody no time. Till I get something from somebody sometime.
97.1 KLSX, more classic dementia from the black and white days, this time from TV. Jerry Mahoney and Paul Winchell with When You Come to the End of a Lollipop. That one was for Phil. More requests and some new stand-up comedy coming right up, and then we'll be getting into the world's shortest demented discs.
It's back, it's a family tradition. So here for a friendly competition.
Hi, I'm Ray Combs, the new host of Family Feud. I gotta say, the show's hot.
Anyone can play the Family Feud. Almost anyone can play the Family Feud.
Watch the feud and no one will get hurt.
Darling, don't feud with your mouth full. My ex-husband didn't watch the feud. I emphasize ex-husband.
It makes my wife laugh. Nothing makes my wife laugh.
What?
Nothing, dear.
For Family Feud, I was a brunette. Depressing, isn't it?
And the survey says,
What survey?
the survey.
Oh, I know.
Feud is back and it's gonna leave you smiling. Feud is back.
The all-new Family Feud, weeknights at 7:30, only on Channel 4.
John Lennon live in peace in Toronto. 97.1 KLSX presents a stereo simulcast with Cinemax of John Lennon live in peace in Toronto.
Well, it is a one for the money, two for the show, three to get ready now. Go, don't step on that blue.
This classic performance was taped live in 1969, just before John announced he was leaving the Beatles.
I don't get everything, it's true.
John's band includes Eric Clapton, Alan White, Klaus Forman, and of course Yoko.
All we are saying is give peace a chance.
Sunday, starting at 11 p.m., John Lennon, live in peace in Toronto. Simulcast on Cinemax and LA's Classic Rock, 97.1 KLSX.
Well, guess what? It's raining. There is a huge black cloud off to our left that you can't see. And the wind is blowing from left to right across the freeway. So I'm finding it hard to keep going straight because the wind wants to push me over into the other lanes. Look at the trees. Can you see the trees over there? Black storm cloud off to my left is really scary looking. Who's ever under it is probably getting drenched right now. And the one right above us doesn't look very friendly either. Here, maybe I'll tilt that up a little bit so you can see the cloud a little bit more. Rain's not coming down really hard, it's just a sprinkle, but it's like the clouds are spitting on us, threatening us. By the way, yeah, I know, he's not playing any short songs yet. I forgot, the first hour is usually a bunch of requests and stuff, so tomorrow we'll hear all the short songs. We might hear a few today, I don't know. Let's find out.
Last week I mentioned a new record label exclusively devoted to comedy called Blue Rose Records. They have 2 new albums out, each featuring several comics. One of them is called Strange Bedfellows and is devoted to political comedy. Here's a comedian named Jimmy Tingle. He swears that's his real name, Jimmy Tingle, on 97.1 KLSX.
Oh boy, any illegal aliens here tonight? You had until June 4th, 1988 to prove that you snuck into the country before January 1st, 1982. Then you could stay. How do you prove you snuck into the country? Oh, you want proof that I broke the law? Well, let me go to the family album. Now here's a fine photograph of me in 1979 climbing the fence. And here's another snapshot of my wife swimming the Rio Grande. Now, here's the whole family bribing the chief of police. Do we qualify for amnesty now? The government said we can't let these people in because they're coming here for economic reasons, not political reasons. Oh, yeah. Unlike all of our ancestors who settled California strictly to exercise that right to vote. Where you going? California. What for? Haven't you heard? They found ballot boxes in the hills. I mean, these people would make very good citizens. You look what these guys do to get into the country. They do like a triathlon in the dark. Just to pick lettuce. I mean, think about that. Walk the desert, swim the river, run across the border, pay that man $500 bribe, first 10,000 get to pick some lettuce. And the government says we can't let them in. They're taking all of our jobs. They're not taking our jobs, they're doing our jobs. I mean, when's the last time an American citizen went for a job picking lettuce? I've never been happy here on Wall Street. All these years, I've always had that burning desire to go back to my first love, migrant work. To be out there in the field when it's about 100, 110 degrees, rip off my shirt down to my hands and my knees and pick a little lettuce. My wife, she could get a job working in the hotel, cleaning those men's room floors, making $6, $7 a week. It'd be a wonderful existence. What do you think, honey? Want to go for it? Want to go to Arizona, pick some lettuce, clean a little urinal? What do you think? Let's get on to immigration and see if we can't get some jobs. What do you think, Mr. Immigration Man? Can we pick a little lettuce? Can we clean a little urinal? Well, sorry, sir, but all those positions have been filled by the illegal aliens. I was born in this country, goddammit! Oh, sure, the illegal aliens, they get everything handed to them. They get all the good jobs. Oh, sure, they get to pick the lettuce, they get to sweep up after the shows. Oh, sure. My wife, she happens to enjoy cleaning pubic hairs off the men's room floor. But can't she? No, we're Americans. We gotta buy a condo. I gotta make business decisions where the goddamn illegal aliens get to pick the lettuce. It's reverse discrimination, that's what it is. But we can't let these people in because there's no room. We've looked everywhere. Absolutely. There's no room. No room. Have you ever been to Arizona? That's not the reason they won't let these people in. It's the nature of the illegal alien. I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they're short, dark-skinned Catholic people who can't read, can't write, don't practice birth control, and they reproduce on a faster rate than the people who work at the mall. That's the reason they won't let them in. It's nothing to do with jobs, and it's nothing to do with space. Because if it was 10,000 Scandinavian women with their tubes tied, the Senate would be down the Statue of Liberty in the morning. Thank you very much.
Jimmy Tingle speaking on immigration and other topics. That's from a new album called Strange Bedfellows, featuring 4 politically oriented comics. Lots of Bush bashing and lots of Reagan ranking on that one. The song from the 60s now. Actually, the song itself is much older than that. For Garth requested it. Here's Buffy St. Marie. Remember her? Here she is again. 97.1 KLSX.
was walking down the street. I was getting kind of hungry. I decided to get me something to eat. Now I passed up all the cheap franchise joints on Hamburger Row and stopped at a little greasy spoon place I always eat at called Eat, Sit, and Go. Get you one of those greasy hamburgers all peppered up, lay you up in the hospital for 10 days. So I ordered me up a couple of them grease bombs. Waitress brought them over, lifted up the buns, checked them out. Damn, no ketchup. So I nudged the guy sitting next to me at the counter. I said, hey, Quad, how about passing the ketchup over? Suddenly, this little bitty green hand holding a ketchup bottle came into view. And I freaked. Because the guy sitting next to me was a Martian. Now, in 28 years eating hamburgers, I ain't never run into no Martian. Not at 2:30 in the morning, and certainly not at a fine scarfing establishment like Eat. Well, he was sitting over there with a bunch of colored sticks on his plate, and I looked over at him and I said, what you eating there, boy? Crayons? And he said,
why no, they're Martian cigarettes. Here, try one.
Well, about a half hour later, he looked over at me and smiled. Them old Martians ain't got but 2 teeth in their head. And he said,
how do you feel?
And I said, well, so good. Yeah, dude. Come boogie. Come boogie. Ow, you Meanwhile, back at Eats, I was still thinking. I said, how come out of all the places you could have landed, you ended up here? He said,
well, according to my lunar space map, this town here is supposed to be
the boogie capital of the USA. So I asked him, I said, now where else you been, boy? And he told me. He said, I rocked him over and I rocked him down. Rocked him in the country, I rocked him in town. Rocked him from Memphis on up to Maine. Woke up a lady and she asked my name. Told her the name was on tail of my shirt. I said, fucking Jim Martian don't have to work. Yeah, man, so good. Gonna boogie. Martian boogie. I'm a comedian.
Are you really? No, sorry, I gotta stop it there. Great, just what I wanted. Plastic bag right in my way. Hope I didn't pick it up. This is some weird weather. Very unstable atmosphere. It's windy, it's cloudy. Some places it's sunny. Okay. Looks like excuse me. Looks like the sky could open up at any minute right above us. It's so dark. Well, it's coming down right now, as you can see. Wonder if I should let you watch the rain while I'm gone. Maybe I'll do that. I haven't done that in a while. I keep putting you on pause. Where's my hat? Oh, here it is. So I don't get my head all wet. Okay. Enjoy the rain. I'll be back soon. Probably wet. How do you like that? I leave the camera running so you can watch the rain, and the sun comes out. Oh well, now you're going to get to hear me cheat. Something that you don't usually get to hear because I put you on pause. I got to find out how much stuff is left on this CD so I know how far we got to go. So excuse me while I cheat. Ooh. 10. Huh. Actually, not that much. Only about 6 minutes. So now I got to get back to where we were. At the end of the Martian Boogie. Why don't we just have a repeat of the Martian Boogie? How about that? I like that song. Sorry.
The other night, I was walking down the street. I was getting kind of hungry. I decided to get me something to eat. Now, I passed up all the chain franchise joints on Hamburger Row and stopped at a little greasy spoon place I always eat at called Eat, Sit, and Go. Get you one of those greasy hamburgers all peppered up, lay you up in the hospital for 10 days. So I ordered me up a couple of them grease bombs. The waitress brought them over, lifted up the bun, checked them out. Damn, no ketchup. So I nudged the guy sitting next to me at the counter. I said, hey, partner, how about passing the ketchup over? Suddenly, this little bitty green hand holding a ketchup bottle came into view. And I freaked. Because the guy sitting next to me was a Martian. Now, in 28 years eating hamburgers, I ain't never run into no Martian. Not at 2:30 in the morning, and certainly not at a fine scarfing establishment like Eat. Well, he was sitting over there with a bunch of colored sticks on his plate, and I looked over at him and I said, what you eating there, boy? Crayons? And he said,
Why, no, they're Martian cigarettes. Here, try one.
Well, about a half hour later, he looked over at me and smiled. Them old Martians ain't got but 2 teeth in their head. And he said,
How do you feel?
and I said, well, back at Eats, I was still thinking. I said, how come out of all the places you could have landed, you ended up here? He said,
Well, according to my lunar space map, this town here is supposed to be
the boogie capital of the USA. So I asked him, I said, now where else you been, boy?
Wow. Well, we got a light that's out up here. Usually when that happens, there's a huge backup. It's not that bad this morning. But when that light there is flashing like that, a lot of times, this time in the morning, it's probably going to get that way pretty soon. Still a little early. These cars have to go one by one to get on the freeway. Oh yeah, this guy's a comedian.
So I'm a comedian. That's my job. Jobs are funny. There are no hard, fast rules on making it to the top, but a pretty good rule of thumb is if you make it to age 35 and your job still involves wearing a name tag, you've probably made a serious vocational error somewhere along the line. Work shoes are another bad sign. You know, you just don't see any Fortune 500 CEOs running around in steel-tipped chukka boots. I think the easiest job in the world has to be coroner. Surgery on dead people. A lot of leeway there, huh? What's the worst thing that could happen? You know, if everything went wrong, maybe you get a pulse. Oh, Christ, honey, I gained one on the table today. Conversely, I think the hardest job in the world has to be bank guard in Alaska. You got 50 customers in the joint. They're all wearing ski masks. You should love it when they warn you about bank robbers. Be on the lookout. He's armed and dangerous. I think armed says it all for me. When are they ever armed and gregarious? Sure, occasionally you'll bump into an Amish minister packing an Uzi, but, what else is new in the world? The Beatles have come out with their compact discs. I was reading this morning that from his cell in Southern California, Charles Manson said, you know, the clarity on these CDs is just amazing. And I guess in retrospect, they probably weren't talking to me on the albums. I must have just had a blown speaker wire or something. I feel like such an ass. I really...
Another new stand-up comedy album just out this week. The Off-White album is its name. And it's by Dennis Miller, who has something snide to say about just about everything in our society, especially sex. He has a lot to say about sex on the second side. Dennis Miller is very, very 80s. A couple of bits from that album, and before that, The Martian Boogie by Brownsville Station, which was for Fuzzy, and Buffy St. Marie. It says on the album cover of her album that Time magazine describes her voice as an eerie tremble that crawls up the listener's spine. Now make a note, by the way, to join us Sunday evening right here, 97.1 KLSX, Sunday evening, October 30th, for 2 full hours of Halloween dementia. You'll have a whole lot of eerie trembles crawling up your spine for that one. A whole lot of very short songs coming up next on the Dr. Demento Show.
Please do not adjust your radio. Here we go. Here comes 5 days of fast draw fun that is second to none.
I'm ready.
All this week on Win, Lose, or Draw. Come on and boogie on up to the drawing board with American Bandstand's one and only Dick Clark.
I stand at the ready.
Velvet voice songstress Melba Moore.
Race runner, road runner.
Police Academy sound effects whiz Michael Winslow. From Days of Our Lives, sexy Judy Evans.
Should have been acting a long time.
Yeah, like a fool.
And your humble host, Bert Conley.
What a great fantasy this is.
Get ready for a week of very revealing shows.
But it's also very explicit.
As the ladies team goes looking for Mr. Right.
The kangaroo? Yeah! Oh, catch the kangaroo!
And the the men are searching for their perfect woman.
Breast, chest, I hesitate to say anything else.
It's love at first sight.
Take a look at this one. Here's an odd couple.
And it's all this week on Win, Lose, or Draw.
Weeknights at 7:30, nowhere else but Channel 9.
All right. Forgot to mention earlier they played a commercial about the new Family Feud with Ray Combs. Sadly, Ray Combs committed suicide in the 90s. Survey says depression. Okay. Well, I'm not going to sit here for 5 minutes, Chad. Sorry. Sorry. Deuces. Peace out. Peace T out. IBC root beer out. 10-4 over and out. 7:58. Well, here. Let me see if I can make it a 3. Can I make it a 3? No, my fingers are too big. Wait, there. Almost. There. There you go, Chad. All right, now. Thanks for the effort, Danny D. Bye.